Recently, Ubisoft gave us an update on the new perspective for Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, including third-person cinematics. Avatar Theory here, hope you're doing well and having a fantastic day. And just a couple of days ago, Ubisoft posted a blog on their website about the new update regarding Avatar Frontiers of Pandora. I'm not really sure why I didn't see this news or how I missed it, but it gives us actually quite a lot of information about the new update. If you do want to read it for yourself, I will leave a link in the description and the pinned comment below, as I'm essentially going to read certain sections and then just give my thoughts on it. Now, the article is stated a new perspective, which goes as follows, quote, "As we look forward to the highly anticipated third-person update for Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, we're going to deep dive into what is included in this update, looking to answer some of the questions we've seen online. The update will bring two core features, third-person and New Game Plus, available on December the 5th for all players," end quote. Now, it's important to know that this is of course a free update, and with the expansion coming December the 19th, the same day Avatar Fire and Ash releases, many people, including myself, will dive back into the game, do New Game Plus, because From the Ashes will be an entirely different campaign, at least from my understanding. Now, the first question asked, why third person? They stated, quote, "Ever since the launch of Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, we've seen numerous requests for third person mode. The continued interest in this feature made it clear that it's a crucial element for our players. We understand the importance of being able to see your character's gear as you play, as well as the importance of choice for whichever perspective prefer. Your dedication and feedback have been foundational to the game's evolution, and we're extremely excited about delivering this update," end quote. So it's interesting that they make this statement because Massive is responsible for The Division and Star Wars Outlaws, both third-person games. So it makes me wonder why. I mean, I know in an interview they said they want you to feel immersed in the world of Pandora. That's why they made the game first person. But I just don't understand, considering Ubisoft is known for third-person games, of course except their Far Cry franchise. They're really known for third-person games. So I just wonder, especially with the in-game store, why they didn't make third-person mode from the start. My guess, it was probably on the tables and they wanted to do it, but they just kind of ran out of time, because you remember that this game was delayed by 1 year. So maybe the game was just kind of in a buggy state, so they decided for the year that it was delayed, they are rather gonna fix the game instead of adding third-person mode. In any case, the article continues by asking how it works, and it goes, quote, "We wanted to ensure playing Avatar Frontiers of Pandora in third person is simple. After downloading the update, the game will still be in first person, but you can always switch between first and third person mode, allowing different players to stick with their preferred perspective or switch things up throughout your adventure. In case you want to compare perspectives on the fly or just want a closer look at something as you play, you can change the perspective at the press of a button. When it comes to the main game and the Skybreaker or Secrets of the Spires, we aim to preserve the original cinematics and the crafting, cooking and gathering feature. To that end, third person is not available during these situations. When you engage one of these activities, a temporary switch to first person will occur," end quote. So I'm just going to pause there for a second. So the expansions Skybreaker and Secrets of the Spires will not have third person mode. So interesting choice that they kept those DLC to first person. I can see a lot of people playing the main game in third person, and then when they get to the DLC, it's going to force you to first person, which is going to feel a little bit jarring if you've not played the game in first person mode. In any case, the article continues, quote, "Adapting Avatar Frontiers of Pandora to be playable in third person mode has been a really fun challenge. A lot of work has gone into ensuring this feature meets players' expectations and that the game plays the same no matter which perspective you choose. We had to find the right balance between what players expect from a third-person experience and the foundational design of a first-person game. We needed to ensure that if a first-person animation takes X milliseconds, its third-person counterpart would fit within the same time frame and have the same outcome. We spent a lot of time with the animation team finding ways to overcome these challenges. We designed and developed an entirely new camera system for third person to make it feel smooth, dynamic, and comfortable, balancing a sense of speed, presence, and immersion. Third person brings a new sense of scale, freedom, and immersion. The development team has reworked animations, controls, audio, and camera systems to ensure experience feels seamless and intuitive. With all of this in mind, the approach of our upcoming expansion, From the Ashes, has been third person focused from the start. While first person is still available with the press of a button, From the Ashes introduces third person cinematics and an overall experience that was built with third person mode in mind. End quote. So it's a little bit unclear with the third person cinematic if that will be possible in the base game. It does say it introduces third person cinematics, but I do wonder if that means if it's only for From the Ashes. I would think that it's likely for the main game as well. I mean, why would they have third person mode in the main game but have all the cinematics in first person mode? Maybe there's a certain button you can press during the cinematics, kind of switch from first person to third person, or maybe depending on what mode you're playing, that is what the cinematic will continue. So if you're playing the game in first person and you go into a cinematic, the game will continue to do that in first person mode, but if you're playing third person mode, the game's cinematic will then be in third person. That, like I said, is a little bit unclear, but that is what I would think would be the case. They then conclude the article by talking about NewGame Plus, stating, quote, "With a third person update, Avatar Frontiers of Pandora will also receive NewGame Plus. NewGame Plus offers a fresh challenge for seasoned players looking to dive deeper into the world of Pandora. Players can replay the main story of Avatar Frontiers of Pandora while keeping their inventory and skills, facing tougher enemies, and unlocking a brand new skill tree and more powerful gear. To access NewGame Plus, you need to have finished the main story. Once you do, NewGame Plus will become available through a button in the menu. Click it, select the save, and begin. Your journey will begin with the Song of the Ancestor quest." And then they just say a little bit more about NewGame Plus, stating, quote, "With NewGame Plus, we've introduced stronger gear and an entirely new skill tree. Both will be necessary to overcome the increased challenge. In NewGame Plus, enemies are harder to kill and do more damage from the very beginning of the story. At the start of your journey, in NewGame Plus, you get to keep your inventory, skills, skill points, and gear earned during the completed playthrough. Additionally, the map will be fully revealed. In terms of skills, we are introducing an entirely new skill tree, only available in NewGame Plus. These new abilities are designed to help you become an even more fierce warrior. In terms of gear, you will continue to receive, find, and craft weapons and gear that exceed the capabilities of their main game counterpart. We are retuning everything for NewGame Plus, including challenges and rewards from vendors or quests." End quote. They then just essentially give some information about NewGame Plus regarding co-op, where they state, quote, "Should you want to go through NewGame Plus in co-op with a friend, both of you need to be in NewGame Plus to do so. NewGame Plus is only available for the main story. There is no NewGame Plus mode for the story packs, Skybreaker and Seekers of the Spires, or the upcoming expansion, Avatar Frontiers of Pandora From the Ashes. The free third-person update comes out December the 5th, ahead of From the Ashes release on December the 19th." End quote. So a lot of pros and cons from this article. I mean, some of the negative stuff is the fact that you cannot play NewGame Plus with the two expansions, Secrets of the Spires and Skybreaker, nor can you play those expansions in third-person mode. They also say that you cannot play NewGame Plus with From the Ashes, which is an interesting choice, but considering you will play the expansion with a different character, Sulik, I do wonder if your character will appear. Regardless, the fact that cinematics are going to be in third person makes me excited. It's something that I've wanted to see for quite some time. It's something that I wish they introduced a long time ago, and it's something they showed in trailers. A lot of trailers leading up to the release of this game showed your character in third person mode in cutscenes, but when those cutscenes happened, your character was in first person, which was just odd. Like I said, I do think they had third person mode probably in the works. They probably had some idea of what they wanted to do, but it was just not working out. And because the game was, well, maybe broken, like I said, they delayed it by a year, and they decided, well, the best is just to strip out third person mode for now, get all the other things fixed, and just release the game and do third person mode later on. Regardless, I am excited about all of these updates. With it essentially being just over a month away from the release of this free update, I'm definitely going to replay the game again in third-person mode. I'm going to do a New Game Plus mode, and I'm excited just to experience this new way of playing Avatar Frontiers of Pandora. Like I said, if you want to read the article for yourself, it is in the pinned comment and description below. But what do you think about all of this news? Let me know in the comments below, and for more Avatar content, have a look at the rest of my channel. Until next time, have a fantastic day and stay safe.